All right, everybody, welcome to the Fuel Cap Podcast. Today we're sitting down with Matt Breen, Cotton Candy Mark 6 on Instagram. He has a very, very interesting build. Want to show you guys a little bit of what it looks like. So we got the blast pipes, the wicked wrap, the purple and black. This thing is just, or it's crazy. So why don't you talk a little bit about the build and kind of how it came to be?
So I never like lie about it. I always be upfront with people. I always tell them how the car used to be when it was straight pink. I bought the car like that. I have no problem with saying that. I bought it with the air ride, with the rims, with everything pretty much on it.
Okay.
But when you buy a car like that, it doesn't really feel like your car until you start kind of changing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I started doing like small little things, like adding a little bit more camber, changing up the stickers, getting new banners, stuff like that. But it still didn't feel like my car. So around the end of last year, right before 2020, I was looking into getting a wrap, and my original idea was going to do a split wrap where it was going to be like a silk black, not like a silk black, but like just a gloss black on one side with the cherry blossom tree and Love to Be Hated, and then on the other side was going to be that cotton candy texture with the Broken Heart and Love to Be Hated. And the people over at the guy at Corsa Auto Design actually was when I told him about the idea, he said, "Hey, look, we really like the idea, but it's just not unique enough for us. Like, we like to do very unique builds." And I said, like, "Oh, well, like, this is something that I'm kind of like looking at doing." He says, "How about this? We'll send you all like a rendition that we can make,
Okay.
and if you like, we can run with it."
Yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, sure." It took about maybe 3 weeks to get it done, and after the 3 weeks, he sent me literally the design that I have on the car now, and I was just taken away by it. I mean, it looked beautiful. Like, I just love the way it came out, better than I could have ever like hoped.
Mhm.
So, but besides the wrap, I used to have a really like bad hoopty, and it was a 2004 Chevy Aveo, and
Ooh.
the
I don't
it's
even
nothing
know
special.
anybody who has one anymore.
But I mean, listen, it was manual 5-speed. The
Oh,
thing,
that's
for
cool.
whatever reason, when your first gear, I had it completely gutted, just cat out and everything, shot flame. But
What?
yeah, and
Wow.
actually, it was ridiculous because that's where I got the idea for putting the blast pipe on the GTI, because the week before I got the GTI, I still had that, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go full crazy. So I put a huge blast pipe on it just because I like the Boku look where they have the crazy wide body kits and the insane piping and everything. And
Mhm.
I don't know, it was always something that I wanted to put on the car, the GTI, but I just never knew when it would be like appropriate, or like when it would look the best. And I think the way the build is now, I think that's the way I want it to go, because it's very standout. Like, it'll catch your eye from like wherever you are. You'll
Oh,
see the giant,
absolutely.
you'll see the crazy wrap. So that's why I really went with like those crazy huge pipes.
Yeah. My how long did you have the blast types on? Was that before the wrap or after the wrap?
Actually, the day that I picked up the car after getting it wrapped, I got it done.
Okay. Okay. But no, I remember the first time I saw your car, I drove past you on the road, and I had no
Mm.
idea who you were. I just was like, "Yo, this thing's crazy." And then you popped up on Instagram a couple times. I think someone I follow might have like taken pictures of your car. Somehow you showed up on my feed or on my stories or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, I recognize that car." So I dropped a follow.
Mm.
And then another time, I think I went to the car wash. It was after Cars and Coffee, and
Yeah.
everybody, like literally, like half the meet
Oh
was
yeah.
there, uh,
Yeah.
and your car was there among some others I recognized. But I just dipped because I was like, I'm not waiting for all these cars.
Yeah. No, that was a crazy day. There was a newer Ford GT there, which I found nuts. But yeah, no, that
Those are
was
crazy.
crazy right after Cars and Coffee.
Yeah, no, but that's what's cool about the little easy wash over there, because everyone kind of just comes and hangs out there. I mean, that's where I met all
Yeah,
my car friends that I have now.
and I think it's also because yeah, Old Bridge cops are strict, but they're strict if you're doing stupid things.
Yeah,
They're not really strict in the point of like, hey, listen, if you guys want to hang out here, hang out here. Just don't play loud music. Don't do burnouts. Don't rev. Don't be
yeah.
stupid. Just hang out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's why I host a lot in Old Bridge, because as long as people just are calm and don't do anything crazy, then we're fine in Old Bridge. They're not going to have any problems with us being there.
Oh yeah. The one thing I will say though is that the group of people that I used to hang out at the car wash with, they were a little crazier, and what ended up happening, I stopped going because two of my closer buddies who I went with, they kind of stopped, and what I found out later on is that they actually got kicked out and like not banned from the car wash, but like cops would like kick them out if they were all hanging out there because I guess they were drinking there one night and or multiple nights I think, and they were throwing the beer cans up on the roof of the car wash. And I guess they went up there for maintenance, and someone saw it and checked the cameras, and then it was the whole big fiasco.
Oh yeah, no. See, that's the thing. I'm not gonna say who. I don't even think I know the names of the people,
Yeah.
but that's happened before. Actually, one time, a guy that I don't know, but he was drinking at the car wash and started doing a burnout inside one of the inside one of the bays, and then also outside in the parking spots near the vacuums.
Yeah.
He was doing a burnout, and I had my little folding chair there, and burnout on my folding chair, and I came back and I was like, oh well, this is gone. It's
Dang.
completely torn up and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that happens out there, and that's why like that spot's good, but it depends on who's there that makes it good.
Yeah, exactly. But then the same group of people started hanging out across the street in the like the Wendy's parking lot. Uh, and so
Oh,
far,
Brown.
I mean, everything's been pretty chill, pretty low key.
Yeah,
But no, it's just cool that there's like those hangout spots that everyone goes to.
yeah, no, I. That's what I like about like at least this area in general. There's a lot of good like open parking lots where you can really just post up and chill with your friends like
Oh
whenever,
yeah.
and it doesn't even have to be like essentially like a car meet.
Hmm.
You can really just be like, hey, listen, do you guys want to like you get like 5 of your friends in the group chat saying, hey, you guys want to meet up at like the Easy Car Wash or like the Browntown Shopping Center? Like we'll
Yeah.
hang out there for an hour or two, just hang out. It's
Hmm.
nothing crazy. You don't even have to make it a meet.
Yeah. So you host meets though, right?
Yeah, I've been hosting a lot more now that it's starting to get a little bit nicer out.
All right. So I've actually never hosted a meet. I guess I kind of sponsored a meet. It was who was it? BRS Media's birthday meet, and he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to be like a sponsor for the meet and kind of just like promote it? We'll put your logo on like the ad for it and everything." But I haven't actually never like hosted a meet. So like, what kind of goes into that? Like planning the spot, the time, and like the people.
Normally, like I'll think about the meet at least like 2 days in advance just to get an idea of like where I want to do it and what would be a good like spot to do it.
Yeah.
Um, I did a meet at the Old Bridge Waterfront.
Oh,
That
cool.
was it was a good spot. The only thing is that after so long, people started getting the idea of like, oh, well, cops aren't here; they're not driving by. We can start doing burnouts. So
Yeah.
of course that started happening. So I'm letting that spot kind of cool off. I'm not really hosting there for at least like another couple weeks. But
Yeah.
right now, as of lately, I've been using the Coles of Old Bridge parking lot, literally right in front of the Coles.
Yes, I
There's
saw
pretty
you
much
posted that today.
yeah. It's pretty much like a U all the way around of bushes, so like
Hmm.
cops really can't see you when you're in there.
Yeah.
And either way, I promote it as being a chill meet,
Hmm.
so people don't do anything stupid. But
Yeah.
um, majority of the time, it's very like cool. Nobody's like doing anything like really crazy. Maybe somebody will pop out like a Tuchero box and start playing some loud music, but besides that, it's like nothing crazy.
Yeah. But so do you like as a host? Do you ever go up to people who are kind of like being like rowdy and like kind of tell them to quiet down, or you just kind of let it be, let the crowd figure it out?
Actually, the waterfront meet. The cops came by and said like, "Hey, listen, we don't care that we're here, that you guys are here, blah blah blah." But we did get complaints that somebody at the meet is drinking like with an open bottle. So
Okay.
I had to go and find the guy who was drinking, and they're in the back of their car, open hatch and everything, just
Yeah.
drinking out of a empty bottle. And I said, like, hey, listen, like, it's one thing to be drinking out of meat because either way you have to drive after this, so like you're putting other people's lives in danger. But especially now that we're having complaints from the cops, like, just put it away. I don't want to see it anymore. Like, listen, I understand maybe this is like your like fun time. You want to have like a little bit of fun, drink a little bit, get a little tipsy. I understand that, but there's a time and place for everything.
Right.
And right now is not the time and place, especially now that we have the cops coming here saying, "Hey, listen, like we have people drinking." I didn't even know people were drinking, and then by the time I was leaving, I saw like 3 people with empty Hennessy bottles, like big Hennessy bottles. And
What?
are you kidding me? Like it wasn't just the one person; it was like 6 people I saw with all the Hennessy bottles, and I was like, "All right, well that's great."
Yeah.
But I do try and take action when I do see something stupid. I shouldn't really say stupid, but like irresponsible.
Yeah.
Like the drinking. Obviously, like the last thing I need is for somebody to leave my meat after they've been drinking and get in an accident. Because then
of course.
it's not even more of just to say like I don't want to get in trouble for it. It's just more of like why do that? Because now you're just putting other people in danger.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the unfortunate thing. I think there's a lot of great people in the local car community, but then it gets like undermined by like the few people who don't make the best decisions.
Yeah, and that's what I really don't like. That's why I try to kind of focus on making sure that it's a very chill meet, and I try and like promote it as a chill meet. And if I do see anything kind of like irresponsible or crazy, I'll be like, listen, there's a time and place for it. This isn't it. Like if you're gonna do a burnout, go to a full set meet. Like I'm not here to waste my time to leave after 5 minutes because you guys want to do burnouts.
Yeah, there are meets for that. And
yeah, exactly.
Surprisingly, I know a lot of people who attend those meets, and they don't necessarily like do the burnouts or like the donuts in the street or anything. But like, it's just kind of crazy because I personally like, as a member of the car community, I don't really condone that. But also, for me, because I'm also a content creator, there's the part of me that like I want the car community to be like shown as like a respectful group of people who just like cars, want to hang out. But then the other side of me, the content creator side, is like, oh, these full send meets doing crazy stuff in the streets. That makes for some really cool content.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the exact same way. Like I used to go to a lot of the meets. I was actually involved in a group that used to host a lot of the meets. I'm not going to say the name just because I don't want to have them like out there as people like and everything. But they were hosting a lot of crazy meets, and I used to go to them all the time. Hell, I used to drive around with the actual crew leader in my car, so we were like really close and everything. Cool. But it's just I kind of got away from the scene of that because especially after the wrap, I put way too much money into the car, and it's not really worth having any damages done to the car, especially like leaving a lot of these areas, especially like AFP. I don't know if you've ever been around there, but the roads there, they're so bad. They have so many potholes, and I mean, my car is way too low to even try and get out of there like quick.
I mean, like I have
Jersey around and I mean, yeah, it's most of Jersey, but over there it's just horrible because they don't really keep up with the roads over there.
Yeah. There's actually a stance page that I follow on Facebook, and I don't know, if you're going through Lawrence Harbor, going like towards the Parkway, to get on, there's the Quick Check, I think a Rite Aid, a CVS.
You make that left towards the Quick Check if you're coming from. I'm trying to think what it is.
I forget the name of the road. So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so at the intersection, if you're coming, Quick Trek is on the other side, on the right.
Okay.
On the right, the top right corner, if you're facing that way. There was actually a video that made it to this pretty like big stance page at that intersection of a car, because that intersection, I hate going through that intersection, but I have to go through it to get on the Parkway, and it's really bad, and it made it onto that stance page to show off how bad Jersey roads are.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me if this is the car. Is it a pink WRX?
I don't remember. It was like cambered out though.
I
It was
think I
you.
know the car. I think I know the
Dude.
car. I can actually send you the video after like we do the
Oh, okay.
podcast. But I don't. I'm not gonna say I know the kid,
Okay.
but I'm familiar with the kid. I've talked with him a few times. My friend actually went to high school with him. He was like pretty good friends with him in high school. He is this crazy cambered out. I think it's an '04 bug-eyed WRX,
Okay.
and it's completely slammed. I think like -24 to maybe -26 camber. He
Wow.
dulled it down a little bit, but it's still like crazy amount of camber.
Yeah.
Um, just these crazy blast pipes, but he scrapes everywhere. Like there's been apparently from what my friend said is he was in automotive class, and his dad calls him and says, "Hey, listen, your rear bumper's on 9 right now. You might want to get it." So he had to leave school to go and get his bumper off of 9.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's crazy. But yeah, no, I
Yeah,
think
I
I
didn't
know the
realize.
exact guy that you're talking about.
Well, you said he had blast pipes.
Yeah,
Okay, I am pretty sure then that's the car.
yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, but so I don't know if you saw. I recently just got wheels on the RX-8. These white Aadhans. Well, they were chrome, and then I got them plastic or powder coated white, and I have stretch tires on them. Not too aggressive, but like the lip does stick out, and
yeah.
um, I'm just like I've had. It's been 5 days they've been on the car, and every time I go out driving, even though I'm not really cambered out, like I have the factory camber is like I think like -2 degrees in the rear, but I'm
Yeah.
just so like conscious about something coming up and scratching the lip. Uh,
Oh yeah.
and actually, so I park in my garage and it's super narrow,
Mhm.
and we had lawn chairs out earlier in the day, and when they were put back, I guess one of them was kind of more at an angle. So when I backed out, I cleared it with my rear, but I ran it over with my front. It caught my front, and there's like the smallest nick on the lip, but it just like kills me because I know it's there,
Oh,
and like someone if like just looking at it probably wouldn't notice, but like I notice it.
oh yeah, no. And anything that happens to your car, you're gonna notice it more
Yeah.
than anyone else's. Like I recently got pointed out that somebody dinged my door when they, I guess, opened the car, and I have this like little dent, like maybe that big,
Yeah.
and it's just you can see the paint transfer. It was a gray car. I don't know what car it was, but I saw it and now I just cannot unsee it.
And
It's just
it's on
it's
the
a
wrap.
yeah, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
Dang. Oh,
But
which side is it on?
yeah, actually that side. If you go to that picture, literally right above the T on 2, it's literally right there.
Oh, right, like up here, kind of.
Yeah, around there.
Dang.
Yeah,
Is it there in this picture or was that after?
this had to be recently because it just got pointed out to me when I was
Oh,
putting
okay.
my spacers on.
Yeah. So the initial design you said was the tree, and then what else was it?
So actually, keep it on that picture real quick.
Okay.
So it was gonna be that side was gonna be black,
This whole side.
and yeah, it was gonna be completely black, and it was
Okay.
gonna have Love to Be Hated in that pink texture, and then that tree was gonna be that pink cotton candy texture too.
Okay.
And on the other side, it was gonna be the opposite, where it'd be that pink cotton candy texture, but the letters and the heart would be completely black.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, they wanted to be very unique about it, and I had no complaints on how it came out. I mean, I mean, I can't say it's like better than perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's spectacular. So, how involved? Because you told them initially like the concept, and then how involved do you get with the actual like design process from there?
Well, I gave them like little kind of additions over here, and there. Not really like additions, but more just like any like stuff that I might have wanted to have. Like I asked them to have. I don't know if you've seen the rear of my car. It has the Oni mask on my rear window. It's like that Japanese demon face mask. I asked them if they could. Oh yeah, no, it's not on that.
Yeah, this was when it was. Oh, here, let me actually. I didn't show any of the people that. Yeah, this is what it originally looked like.
Yeah, it came a long way from it.
Yeah, for real. From this picture to this picture, it's like totally different. Okay, so there's the mask. You could kind of see it.
Yeah, like I asked them to do like little things like match the United sticker to like the actual color of the wrap, and also like have that Oni mask have that pink to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't really anything like too crazy. I wasn't too involved with the details of the car.
Yeah.
But like I said, once they sent me the final design, it was just perfect in my eyes. Like I love the way it looked.
Yeah. So do they mock it up like on the car, like what it looks like on the actual vehicle, or they just send you what the wrap looks like?
So what they do is, I guess they have like a template for each car. So what they use is, I think, a GT, like just a regular GTI without the front and rear bumper that I have,
Right.
and they kind of mocked it up on that. And then after that, they went with the shop and well, not went with the shop, but had the shop measure the car just so they have like the right specs and everything, so they know how to like stretch it out, I guess. So like it'll still look the same on my car that it would look in like the diagram almost.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's how they do it. Again, I'm not 100% sure because I wasn't too involved with the process of it.
Okay.
But the way it looks, they have pretty much almost like a 3D model of it, I'm assuming, and they split it up into like almost pictures, and that's how like they show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. No, but it just kind of like it amazes me that you can do a custom wrap like that and just have it look the way it's supposed to across all the individual panels and everything. Because I filmed the process of my friend's car, his M4, getting wrapped. All it was a deep space gloss wrap, and the only specific thing with that is that it's a directional wrap. So when they install it, it has to there's arrows on the back, and it all has to be pointed in the right direction because it's a color flip wrap. And that like seemed kind of difficult to me, having to make sure it all pointed the right direction. And then your wrap takes it a step further because it's a whole image that has to be like properly like applied, I guess.
And I gotta say, NJ Vinyls, the people that actually they did an amazing job wrapping my car. I mean, they kind of like showed me the whole thing afterwards, like how like detailed that they really made sure that it was like they weren't missing any details or anything.
Mm-hmm.
On my driver's side door, my driver door, on the handle where the cherry blossom tree is, the image from the handle that connects with the door is spotless. It has like it literally looks like it's still the whole like one image. There's like shift of it being like maybe like slightly off or anything like that. And like no, it's like perfect where like it matches up perfectly.
That's crazy.
Going into it. So like I said, they did amazing work. They did a great job. I mean, I have no complaints on like how they did it. I mean, it came out perfect. Like they made sure everything was lined up perfectly. They triple measured everything, like made sure everything was locked down so they knew that it was going to come out perfect all at once.
Right, because really they only have one try.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I mean, yeah, they could print it again, but
that's a lot of material.
It's just, whole process and everything, so they really want to make sure that they get it done all at once.
No, it's incredible work. I'm gonna have to like one day just sit in on the process of that and just watch because I just love that. I love that stuff. Anything like with cosmetics is just so fascinating. Just seeing a car transform from one thing to another.
I wish. See, this is the thing. I really wanted to have it so I didn't see the car until the day that I got it back.
Oh, really? Or else, so it would be just like you send it in, don't know anything, and just see it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But then over time, they were saying that like they were having like some slight problems or whatever, and they were sending me like some pictures of it, and I was like, all right, just start sending me pictures. I'm fine with it. I can't wait any longer.
Yeah.
But what's it called? With what you're talking about, how you can like see the whole process and everything. If I didn't do that, I would have liked to have been there pretty much like almost every day. At least like maybe just taking like almost like a time lapse of like it all coming together.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, like I said, I wanted it to be a surprise, but by the end of it, it wasn't a surprise anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but as long as like at the end of the day, am happy as if I was surprised, I didn't mind at all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, and then let's talk about your fitment because that is some pretty nice fitment you got there. You're on bags clearly because this one you could actually drive, and
Yeah,
the other one you probably can't.
yeah. No, if I'm aired out, it scrapes. It's unmovable. It literally just won't move.
Have you tried?
Accidentally, I've forgotten to air up a few times, and I've tried to drive, and it, like I said, it literally won't let me move. My tires will try and spin, but it just doesn't.
So, in this picture, when it was still before the pre-wrap, pre-blast pipes, uh, was this on stock suspension or were you on air ride?
I was still in there. Like I said, I got the car with air ride and everything already installed,
Oh, that's right.
and
That's right.
and the guy before me had his stock camber arms that came with the car maxed out, and I think that gets you to -5 to -7 degrees. I'm not 100% sure where it gets you, so that's like right there. That's probably like -7 degrees camber,
Okay.
and right now I think I'm at about -13 to 14,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually had just ordered a lot of parts to get my car like ready for show season once it comes around. I'm gonna be running -20, or I'm gonna try and at least run -20 in the rear,
Okay.
and then probably -15 to maybe -13 in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a pain because my front, because I have Slam Series bags, I need to get performance bags. So I had to go on the Raceland and buy a whole new set of bags, and they don't sell just fronts, so I had to get a full set of front and rears. So now taking out my front bags, replace them with the performance bags, and then that'll actually allow me to start cambering out the front. And I ordered from this guy in Russia. I forget what his Instagram is, but he makes like custom camber parts for like the front,
Okay.
especially like bags.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be getting that done probably beginning of July, like around there. Hopefully once everything comes in, because Raceland bags were on back order. So whenever they like come to my house and I get the camber kit from Russia, hopefully I'll have like everything there at the same time, and I can just go ahead and start like the process of doing it.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of suspension. Well, I think a lot of aftermarket car parts in general on back order because with my wheels, since they have stretched tires, they look a lot smaller on my car than my stock wheels do, and the wheel gap is like honestly like it's offensive to me. Looking at my car, it just I want to fill it in.
Yeah.
So I was gonna go with I want to go coilovers because I do want to retain more driving aspects of the car, even though I am running strict tires. I'm planning on probably going flush tires eventually, but I wanted to get Tane Flex Z's, and so I placed the order on Fitment Industries, and like 3 days later, well, 2 days later, I got a text that say my order is shipped, and I looked at it, and it was just for the free T-shirt you get when you order from their site. And then the day after that, they're like, "Oh, by the way, we don't have any of the coilovers in stock." And they reached out to Tane, and Tane said it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks before they have them in stock. So I figured, all right, well, like, why don't I just get a refund, and then I'll go with BC Racing. So I placed an order on Redline 360 for BC Racing, and within an hour, they also said they don't have any in stock, and BC Racing said 3 to 4 weeks before they have them in stock. And then I was like, oh, interesting. And then I asked around a few other places, and I guess I never realized that anytime you place an order, I guess they always drop ship it from the manufacturer.
Yeah, no, it's a very weird process. I know exactly what you're talking about because, especially with everything right now, like especially with like what's going on right now with Corona and everything, it's even like crazier. But anything that you're going to be getting right now is going to be kind of a hassle to get, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to really describe it besides, like I said, with my experience, how it's going to be on back order until next month.
Yeah.
And because they have to get it directly from the actual people that, like, the manufacturer, it's going to be an even bigger problem because they don't even have it. So until they have it, they're not going to be able to ship it.
Yeah. But, like, I didn't even know that, like, drop shipping from the manufacturer is a pretty standard thing. Like, that just never occurred to me. I figured, like, these places have warehouses or something. But, yeah, it's just frustrating because for me, by the time I figured I definitely want to go with BC Racing, just because you could rebuild them as opposed to the Tanes, which you can't. And the thing that sucks is by the time that they have them back in stock, I'm going to be going camping in Montana for almost a month. I'm leaving July 11th, and that's pretty much the time that they'd have them back in stock, and then I have to wait all the way until I get back to put them in. But that's the one thing I have to look forward to coming back, because last time I went camping out in Montana, I didn't really want to come back because it's just so nice out there. Jersey's kind of gross in comparison, but it's gonna be, the coilovers are gonna be nice to come back to.
Now, when you were there, have you been there before?
Last summer I went. So, me and my girlfriend and her parents, they have a camper, and we're gonna do the same thing we did last year. Me and my girlfriend rode out with them. Yeah, they towed the camper all the way from Jersey to Montana, and then we camped with them 2.5 weeks, and then we flew back. But I think we're camping with them for 3 full weeks this time, and then we're flying back. And they're staying out there for another week or two after we leave.
Oh, so they're going to be there for pretty much like a month almost.
Yeah.
Or longer than
a little longer than a month, yeah.
Okay. So now, the last time that you were there, were you pretty much just like mainly near the woods, or did you go and like check out the area around there?
Oh yeah, so we were actually a half an hour from Yellowstone, and so our campsite was actually next to a river, which goes through the valley. There's some mountains, and there's a valley that goes through. So we camped like along the river there, and it's really nice. And then you drive through the valley, you get into West Yellowstone, and then there's an entrance to the park there. And then so pretty much every day we went into the park and just explored around there. It's huge.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I used to be obsessed with like all like those places and everything, especially because they have the geysers there. I just found this so interesting because like the colors and everything. But I've always wanted to go there just because I find that very interesting, that area.
Yeah.
But what I was meaning to ask you is, did you see any of the car scene while you were there?
Okay. So,
or did you?
There's not too much where we were, at least. There wasn't too much of a car scene. There was actually more of a bike scene, and you could kind of say there's a truck scene, but I think it was more just people who were like putting lift kits on their truck because they actually drive off road, not because they're necessarily like truck enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a bike scene out there.
Okay, I mean, I can believe that because especially with those like winding roads, especially like near the mountains and everything, I'm sure that going up there is probably like beautiful to cruise around.
Oh, absolutely. And the funny thing, okay, so there's seemingly not too much of a car scene, but there's definitely a driving scene because everybody's speeding on those roads. They're just I mean, there's like nowhere through the valley. There's nowhere for cops to sit, and like it's just open roads really, and it's not like intense like back roads driving with like tight turns and stuff. Like you get some curves, it's pretty fun, but like you can pick up a lot of speed if you wanted to.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah, I mean, especially with those long roads that like were they pretty much like empty, or were they had like decent amount of traffic? Because especially if they're like empty roads. I'm sure that you could probably go pretty fast without having to worry.
Yeah, no, they're pretty empty. Like through the valley to get into town, it's always empty pretty much.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if
Then
there is another car, they're going fast too. So
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's what I find very interesting about like different areas that like I go to is like what the cars is there. Like
yeah,
me and my friends are planning on going to a trip for going down to Florida. Actually, we're gonna trailer my car down probably like end of July maybe.
okay. Oh, I think you.
Are
cut out for
you
a
able to
sec.
hear me? Because you kind of.
Yeah, I can hear you now. You cut out for a sec.
All right, my bad.
You're good.
But what's it called? I want to go down there just because I think that I feel like that'd be very interesting to see the car scene down there. I know a lot of stance people that are down there with like crazy camber, especially just because how smooth the roads are down there. So it's not like here; it's very forgiving down there. So that's why I want to bring my car down there as well, just so I can hang out with some people that I know, have my car down there, maybe get a couple pictures, cruise around a little bit, and also just because I don't know, I like my car. I like driving it around.
Oh yeah,
I have a daily, but like I don't know. I kind of like driving my car around wherever I go.
You do have another daily.
Yeah, I have a older Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. It's a 2013.
Oh, okay. My previous daily, my current daily is a 2005 Mazda 3. My previous daily was a 2003 Ford Explorer, and so that was my grandparents. Actually, they live in North Carolina. They bought that brand new. I forget how long they drove it for. I want to say at least 10 years, and then it became my mom's car, and then my mom was gonna get a new car. So then the Explorer also needed some work, so I figured I'll just do the work and just take the car. So I did that, and I drove it for over a year, and then the engine blew. So I figured, and the car is like really like in really good condition, just the engine blew. So I figured if I'm gonna buy a new car, I want it to be better, like nicer than the Ford, like newer. But then the problem was my budget. So I figured, all right, well, it's probably gonna be cheaper for me to just get a new engine than it is to like find a new car that's in the quality that I want. So I bought an engine and transmission. I wanted to do the transmission just so I didn't have to worry about it later down the road. And then me and my girlfriend's dad put those in together, and then I got another 2 years out of it before the engine blew again.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
The original motor, how many miles did it have?
Honestly, I don't remember. I want to say 80,000 when I got it. I don't exactly remember though.
Okay, because that sounds very familiar to one of my friends. His Explorer, he had a 1999, and his Explorer just recently went, and his motor had a lot more miles on it than yours. I think it was probably like 140 to maybe 200,000. I'm not 100% sure around like the number where it was, but he loved the thing. I mean, his name was Sally. It was a very iconic car in the friend group. We loved it. It was fun.
That's awesome.
It was a V8 and everything, but it was a very sad day when we had to see Sally go when the engine blew. But like I said, it sounds very familiar. But he had a lot more miles, and also he didn't take the best care of it. He didn't really do oil changes. He more just put oil in more instead of oil. And I always said, "Oh, your car's gonna blow up like that." And he's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I put high mileage in it. It's fine."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, no, don't believe me then. But yeah, no, not.
Integra just drove past.
What?
An Integra just drove past. I used to have an Integra, so that got me excited.
I see this thing. That's the only Honda that I think I would, or not really Honda, but only Acura that I think I would get. Besides like a TLX. Yeah, TLX. But besides that, I think that's it.
Did you see the new TLX?
Yeah, I actually just saw an ad for it last night. I like it, but it does seem kind of similar to like the most recent model to it of it, I
Yeah.
should say.
Um,
But I don't know, I like the way it looks.
they have the I mean the reason I'm excited for it is because they have the TLX Type S that they're going to release as well. So
Okay.
they're bringing back the Type S line,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to have well over, I'm quoting them, well over 300 horsepower, which is exciting. And it's going to be an all-wheel drive system, so I think it'll actually be a really fun car.
Yeah, I see. I like the newer TLXs
Mhm.
also because they're very good looking when they're stanced as well. And like I said, I mean, you might be more of like for building like cars that'll be able to perform better on like a track or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I the show kind of aspect of like the car
Right.
scene. I think when you put that like effort into it to make it just right in your eyes and making it like a beautiful car.
Hmm.
That's what I love. Don't get me wrong, you can have a beautiful car if you track it
Yeah.
or whatever you do. Like you bring it down a drag strip, but I think like the show car scene has just that like little extra touch of everybody else's person, like as of the
Oh,
owner's personality.
absolutely. Yeah. No, because the thing is, like, my friend has a Miata, and he's fully performance oriented, and
Mhm.
so he's on the Miata forums, and pretty much like everybody who's doing a performance build, they all do the same alignment specs for handling, and then they do the same like bushing upgrades or like the upgraded sway bar, and it's like not that everything is exactly the same because like cosmetically like his car is this like beautiful like blue that he just wrapped it, and then it's just like the car itself, like they're kind of all pretty similar because they're all trying to get the best performance out of the car that you can. And then the
Yeah,
stance scene is kind of like you have the car and then just make it look like it's like your personality.
yeah. That's why I really like
Hmm.
not so much like the like yeah, no, like stance. You have your own like personality there and everything, but I feel like stance also has that kind of group where it's like, okay, I know Miata looks good with this much camber and this lip and these fenders and whatever,
Yeah.
and they'll like run like. And I'm not gonna say everybody runs the same thing, but they'll run like very similar like setups and everything. But like
Hmm.
when you go out of your way to have that just like unique spin on like the common kind of like say like Miata or like Honda or whatever,
Hmm.
I think that's where like, your personality really shows, and I think that's why I like the community a lot more, just because it really like lets you build like a dream of yours almost. If that
Yeah,
makes
and
sense.
you get to include all the small details that set it
Yeah,
apart.
that's why I really like it. I think just attention to detail. I
Hmm.
think that's what a lot of people in the stance community would say too. Just attention, or not stance, but like show car community. Just attention to detail about everything.
Yeah.
Um, whether it's like the old school look or like how it is now. Like my dad, he had I think a Mark IV, and he had that very old school look where he had the TVs in the back, PlayStation like inside the seat with like the
Oh,
disc that
no
goes into.
way.
It was cool. I wish I could have seen it before he got rid of it,
That's
but
awesome.
it just I don't know. I there's always like that different style that everybody has.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
And
I
that's what I
get
like.
that. But so I know that like a big thing in the show car community is reps versus the real thing. So
Yeah.
I want to know like what's your take on that?
Um, my take on it is, and I'll say this to anyone. I don't care what anybody says. My take on it is, if you're not the one making the car, then you have no say in what they do. Like it, I
Okay.
always say that I could care less if you have a $500 beater or if you have $1 million Ferrari.
Yeah.
I no matter what it is, if you're not the one doing the work on the car or like making it personalized to you, then you have no say to what they're going to do to the
Yeah.
car. And that's what I hate about it. And that's what I kind of like don't like about the car community now is there's a lot of negativity in it, and
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of it because, like I said, if you're not doing it, then why do you care? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's actually very very true. Like the car community really is more kind of in that mindset of like being
Yeah,
judgmental and like when it's not their place to.
yeah, exactly. Like, all right, that's great. Yeah, you have really nice rims that might be $7,000 for like one rim, and he might have $300 reps for the set. Who
Yeah.
cares? It's his car. It's how he's building it.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what he has to say. It doesn't matter what the person that has the more expensive rims has to say. It's about what that person wants to do to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, you can get to the point where it's like these wheels normally cost like $7,000 for the set, and you're getting
Mm,
reps for $300 or $400 or whatever. And then
yeah.
at that point, though, I would be concerned about safety more than anything because like, are those wheels gonna hold up to
Oh well,
driving?
yeah. No, I think safety is an overall like
Yeah,
bigger thing than anything else. But as
absolutely.
long as like, you have like safe like wheels and everything, then and like you like them and you have like you enjoy them,
Mhm.
then who cares what anybody else has to say? As long as you're being safe about it, then who
No,
cares what anybody else has to say?
yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. And one of the things with like ethanol feed and like the whole brand philosophy behind that is like my goal as a brand and why I'm doing this podcast is to bring the car community closer together.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that's like the short version of it. The longer version is bring the car community closer together to keep the driver in the driver's seat because just where the whole industry is headed, it's driverless cars, electric cars, and
Oh yeah.
you know, as a car community, we have to be like united to kind of have like a stand against driverless cars and like keeping drivers on the road. But um, going back to bringing the car community closer together, it's like the biggest thing I think keeping us apart is the fact that we can't just accept what other people do, even though like it's not our build. You know?
Yeah. And that's why I want to make a brand like later, like soon in the future. But that's why I really wanted to put "Love to Be Hated" on my car because no matter what, at the end of the day, it's my car, it's my say, it's what I'm going to do to it.
Mm,
And if you hate me, or if you hate the car, or if you hate anything about the car, that's great. I'm going to take that and I'm going to carry it with me, and I'm going to know, all right, this person might not like it, but these people like it. So it's one of these things where I kind of embrace the hate almost. Like
yeah.
I don't try and like reply to it like negative or anything. I mean, yeah, there's some people that like might make me snap or whatever, like where I'm like, oh well, blah blah, you have no say in it. But like majority of the time, I say like I got a message on one of my friends' accounts where he took a picture of my car and it was in the comments, and the guy was like, oh, this was a paid because he promoted it through the promotion for Instagram,
Oh yeah.
and he said, "Oh, well, this was a paid promotion that came up on my feed. Why am I seeing this disgusting Mark Six? Blah blah." And a lot of people on one of my crews was saying like, "Oh, blah blah, f you," so, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I said, "Hey, listen, don't message him. Let him think whatever." And then I put in the comments underneath his comment. I said, "Hey, listen, this might not be for you, but this is the way I like it, and this is the way a good amount of the community that I'm in likes it. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry about that. I can't change your opinion, but maybe we can talk about it in person, like, and not in person, but like through DMs, and
Yeah.
maybe I could change your mind, blah blah." And after that, he was like, "It's not that. It's just I don't like it that it was like a paid promotion." I said, "Well, I had no part in that. Like, I'm sorry about that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't give you the right to just go and like trash on someone's car
Right.
just because it's not per se the way that you like it."
Hmm.
So like I don't know. I don't let the hate get to me.
Yeah.
I like to kind of sell it in the way of like, listen, if I can't change your opinion on how you see the car, then I'm not gonna fight to try and change your opinion on it. You can think whatever you want, but
Right.
at the end of the day, like, this is the way I made it, and this is the way I like it.
Yeah. No, that's honestly really awesome that you're actually like the way you replied, like most people wouldn't, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what kind of tears the community apart even more is when people don't react the right way.
Hmm.
And so like you actually like you started a conversation with him, and like
Hmm.
that's really like what I want to see more of in the car community.
Yeah, like honestly, instead of like the next time you get a message on your page saying like, "Oh, this looks like crap," all just reply being like, "We have a conversation. We could talk about it."
Mm-hmm.
If I can't change your mind, then I'm not gonna fight you over it. I'm not gonna get aggressive with you over it. I'm gonna say, "Hey, listen, if I can't change your mind, then that's it. Like I can't. It's not your style. It's
Yeah.
my style, but it might not be yours."
Yep.
But like I said, there's always going to be those people that just don't like the car, and that's why I don't let the hate get to me because there's no reason for it to get to you.
Yeah. And is love to be hated? Is that like a saying, or like is that something that you came up with?
I'm sure it's probably been said. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's probably somewhere out there, maybe like in a car community. I haven't seen it, so I just kind of think that I came up with it. But I'm sure there's something out there that has to have it.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sure,
Because
but like
I'm
I want to try and make that a kind of brand, but I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever do, because I've been doing more merch lately, and like I'm about to drop some racing like autocross themed T-shirts for the summer,
Hmm.
and so I don't know if you ever want to like move forward like with the love to be hated thing. Like I'd love to make that like a T-shirt or a banner even or something. I think that'd be like a really cool product.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to do that. Like, and like, let me know. I'm completely down to do it. We could work on a design or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Um,
You know.
but let me check if there were any other questions on Instagram. No, okay. But there is that one. Before we start wrapping up, if you could choose any car and any road to drive on, what would you choose?
Um. See, my gut's telling me to say S13 240 just because that's my dream car, but think I think I'd have to say probably an R32 Skyline just because I
Ooh,
that's a very iconic car and definitely would have to be what is it, the Dragon's Tail? I think it is.
tail dragon.
Yeah, Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah,
It would have to be there just because I've seen the car handle on there before, and I don't know. I think no matter what, I could like it would handle perfectly on it, and I don't know. I think it's just a very like scenic road, and especially in an iconic car like that, I think it would probably be like one of the best drives of my life.
probably. Yeah. Um,
But yeah, no, I think that would have to be the combo I'd have to go with.
no, that's awesome. For me, it kind of always changes. I can never really stick to one car and one road, but so I follow the Smoking Tire, and recently he drove the what's it called, the Morgan Plus 4. I don't know if you're familiar, but Morgan Plus 4. So this car is super cool. This is a let me see this bigger picture. This is a 2021 model, and it's
Okay.
kept the same design for like 70 years, and like
Hmm.
they use I think they use like a four cylinder from a Ford, and they have their own custom exhaust to give it that like old retro sound. But since I've discovered this car, this
Hmm.
is probably, if I could choose any car to drive, I was actually also going to say Tail of Dragon. Uh, I would love to drive this on there, just because
Yeah.
it's not super fast. It doesn't have the modern handling, but
Hmm.
it's a thrilling ride, from what I've heard. So I would love to experience that on a road like Tail of Dragon.
That looks actually like pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of a what is it? The Bentley. What is it? 4.5 liter, I think it is. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it reminds me. It's like of kind of like it looks like a little bit of a smaller one of those.
Bentley 4.5 Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean it's got that like that old
Older style.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is yeah. Cars like these, like you never see them, but like when like you do see him, like you know that guy like has money and like is definitely like a huge car buff.
Oh yeah. Especially if the paint looks like brand new on it and like it just looks super clean, like polished and everything. Like you know that that's like his baby. That's like the thing he wants to like make sure it never goes.
Yeah, this thing's actually pretty cool looking. It's like it almost looks like a military vehicle, but like not quite.
I don't know.
I think it's
Maybe
the green, but especially in this picture because I think this like canvas like top or whatever that is.
they may have used it as a military vehicle for all I know. I'm not 100% sure though.
It doesn't necessarily seem like well equipped to be a military vehicle, but it somehow like it gives me that vibe for some reason.
Yeah.
I think it's the green probably.
Yeah. It almost looks like that. What is it? British racing green, I think it is.
Yes, British racing green. Let's see on a Bentley. Oh yeah. Oh absolutely.
Yeah. That's a beautiful color. I love the way that looks.
Yeah. No, I'm a sucker for green cars. My Ford was actually green, so
Oh,
that's part of where that came from.
yeah.
But it,
Surprisingly, people always ask me, "Oh, is your favorite color pink?" I'm like, "No, it's blue," but I could see why you would think that.
that's funny. But before we get going, is there anything that you want to plug?
Um, yeah, I'm actually I'm hosting a meet tomorrow, June, what is it, 16th? If anybody wants to come out to that.
Hmm.
Also, go follow one of my crew's pages, Street Breed and also Speed Gravity. They're amazing teams. They're great guys. And also follow We Out Boys too. They're a group that's just coming out, and I just want to show them a little bit of love because they're coming up and everything, and I want to help them build their group up.
Cool.
But besides that, that's really all I have to say. There's nothing else that I really want to shout out.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me on here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And I'll make sure all the people you just shouted out, I'll make sure to put their ats and their links in the description for the show.